If you are ready to get your little one started on solids, well, you may want to try baby-led weaning, that approach. So here to argue why that might be the right way to introduce foods to your baby is registered dietitian Nishta Saxena. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thank you.
It is a messy way to eat.
Absolutely.
It's the way that so many people recommend.
It really is, and I know a lot of people think it's a new concept, but it's actually something that's been around for quite a long time. In the 1960s, we used to want parents to start feeding at about 3 months old, but now we've moved that up to 6 months old, which is the right time to start solids for most babies. And so baby-led weaning is a way to really feed children that are physically ready to eat without using purees and liquid food.
So what does it mean for someone who has no idea what this concept is?
It really means putting food in front of the baby so they can feed themselves. You're not using spoons or implements to feed the baby. You're wanting to make sure that they're sitting upright and supported, that they have good neck control, and that they're actually ready to bring food to their mouth with their own hands.
What are some of the benefits with this? Because I imagine not only do they feed themselves, but they're also working on those dexterous skills.
Absolutely, and helping that development move along, helping them get used to different textures earlier on can be something with baby-led weaning that can help with reducing that sort of picky and challenging eating. Kids that have new textures in their mouth earlier on tend to eat those foods more easily. It's easier for parents of more than one child, as you will find out,
yes,
because you're maybe a little time pressed to make purees and things like that once you have another baby in the house.
What about the idea of it also helping a baby develop, whether it were realize when it's hungry or not and when it's full or not?
Yes, it's an interesting concept. It'd be great to get some long-term data on this, but it is interesting that when children are allowed to feed themselves and stop and start that process, they may be more connected to when they are hungry and full and how those hormones change as you go through an eating cycle. So it's an interesting concept.
So I know for me, as a control freak, a self-proclaimed control freak, it's really hard for me to just watch my son stop eating when I think he should eat more.
Yes.
For parents who are worried about their baby not getting enough nutrition, what do you say?
It is a really good point. Actually, some children do find that they are hungry and they're not satiated by a baby-led weaning approach, and they may not be getting the iron that they need because there's only so many foods you can put into a finger food format. So probably the best sort of combination is using like a mashed food along with some pieces of food in that baby-led style, which is a bit of a way to get iron into the baby, make sure that they're getting satisfied, and it can just turn down that mommy anxiety as well, but still allow the child some of the playtime aspects of using food and bringing food to their own mouth.
It's so messy, Nishta.
It's very, very messy. Yes,
yep.
It's true.
There's
no way around it.
With it.
The mess is good. The mess is actually part of the development. The mess is part of getting comfortable with food. Wanting to play with food is actually a sign of being interested in food, and it actually generates really positive behaviors.
Okay. What are some examples, real quick, of something that we could start with for pincher foods?
Yeah, anything that's kind of like a French fry shape or like chip size, not actual French fries or chips, but broccoli spear that looks like a little tree. It's cooked well. Babies can hold that in their hand almost like a stick. That's a great idea. You want to kind of stay away from things that are very small and spherical or very hard and sticky, like perfectly round grapes or nuts or anything that's very sticky. It's just things that the baby can really hold in their hand in that kind of tool shape.
Okay. Sounds good. And I know some of you are thinking, broccoli. My child will never eat broccoli. My son loves it. Of all the things, he loves it.
Amazing.
So, there you go. Nishta, thank you so much.
You are so welcome.